Hi, this is Jeremy Burgess, the Detroit market expert from Urban Detroit Wholesalers, and welcome to another episode of Detroit Investor TV. It is currently 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I cannot sleep. I'm definitely a little behind on my Detroit Investor TV episodes. I've got a sick cat at the vet and another one that's not looking so good that we're going to have to take in, so not a lot of sleep tonight, so I decided I'd come out and shoot a video and make myself a little productive since I can't seem to sleep right now. So what we're going to be discussing in this Detroit Investor TV episode, it's a continuation of Why Not Detroit, is what we're going to discuss is a little bit about the history, primarily from 2001 to current times about Detroit. Unlike most of the rest of the country, including the Sun Belts, Detroit never experienced the rapid appreciation in the post 9/11 environment when the Fed dropped basically the rate to zero for banks and basically free money. Detroit did not see the enormous double-digit year after year appreciation. So, in my opinion anyway, the market never became inflated. Also, from starting in 2001 after September 11th, Detroit pretty much got its ass kicked. That was definitely an economic downturn. Scared the world when that happened. Scared consumers, and unfortunately, when that happens, one of the first things to go are car purchases. And to point between 2001 and 2007, 350,000 jobs were lost in Metro Detroit, primarily car industry jobs. Now, a lot of that had to do with losing market share, and GM was stupid, and they weren't building cars people wanted, and all of that. But my point is that when the rest of the country was booming, Detroit was getting its ass kicked. So why did property values drop so much in the state of Detroit? Well, there were two reasons. First off, and I was here, I moved to Detroit just in time for this. I moved in May 2007. And in July 2007, that was when the huge market crash came. And lending stopped. The bubble burst, and it all came to an end. And like musical chairs, there wasn't enough chairs for everybody to stand in. Detroit just got, unlike the rest of the country, saw huge declines. Unfortunately, I know the Sun Belt states had higher cases of fraud when it came to mortgage fraud, but Michigan was unfortunately in the top 10 with that. And banks kind of learned the wrong lesson. I was definitely on the receiving end of that too. All of my approved loans went away. Anyway, getting back to the point, I'm tired, so I'm wandering a little bit. The lack of ability of people to get loans immediately gutted the market. And for those of you who are international, and this is a concept that you need to learn, is in America we have two real estate markets, an all-cash market and a mortgage market. And generally speaking, the mortgage market, it's a 30% premium, and if you're paying cash, you expect a discount. So when all those discount or all those when loans went away and all you could buy was with cash, the market got gutted. And this kind of led to the next thing. As all these houses came back, what the banks did that they're not doing now, and I can say I was there for a while, it was fun, was they literally dumped thousands of homes. At one point in time, there was over 20,000 homes on the MLS for sale. Now, I know that's not the case now. Sometimes I can't even manage to find 100 homes to go look at in the areas where I invest in now. But in 2007 and most of 2008, there were just tens of thousands of houses for sale. Combine that with the fact that you can only buy with cash, and that's when the huge drop happened. And also, third point I'd like to bring up too is in the end of 2008 and the beginning of 2009, FHA, which is basically our first-time home buyer loans, government loans, they started going through and rapidly changing the guidelines. To give you an example, they started to make you put foreclosures and appraisals. They started making you submit listings as part of the actual appraisal. And that was kind of like the final nail in the coffin as far as values go. So basically the market is a cash market. So I say, why not Detroit? While this city is distressed and there's many areas I wouldn't touch with a 40-foot pole, the reality is there's some really good areas that have been subjected to these things beyond their control and really distress the market, and that are quite viable areas, that are great areas. You get great cash flow, and I do a lot of land contracts in these areas, and I feel more comfortable working in an area where I can get that kind of cash flow and I can buy houses at these prices. And I feel that when the recovery comes, it's going to come here fastest and first, because we never really experienced that rapid appreciation. So I consider most of that loss of value to be artificial and beyond control. And as soon as lending comes back, we're going to recapture a lot of that value. Now, we're not going to recapture all of it. It's not going to happen overnight. But I'd say we're going to recapture 30 or 40% of that value as soon as the credit market repairs itself. And this is true for a lot of states, and definitely for Michigan. But I think it's more true for Detroit than it is for other places. And certainly I don't believe we're going to see the kind of prices you saw in California and Arizona and Florida and all the other Sunbelt states that got really overinflated. I don't think we'll ever see those values again. We're here, as in here in Detroit, we're going to see those values much sooner than the rest of the country, because our value was real value before, essentially, more or less, before the market crashed. So that's if you have any questions, go ahead and submit them in the comments, or send me an email. I appreciate the interaction. If you want me to do an episode on something that's concerning you, make sure you watch the other episodes first. Make sure I haven't already covered it. But go ahead and submit it in the comments. Subscribe. Go ahead and like this too. Once again, this is Jeremy Burgess from the Detroit Market Expert from Urban Detroit Wholesalers. It is now, what time is it? Yeah, now 3:37 in the morning, and I think I'm going to go ahead and post this up, and maybe I'm going to try and go in there and snag a little bit of sleep if I can. Take care, guys.